Welcome to One. If you're a business and want to get an app on One, click on the Play Store icon on your mobile and search for One Business app. You will find two apps in the name of One in the Play Store. If you're a business, you need to download One for Business. If you're an end user who's getting connected to one of the businesses, you will download the end user app. But for now, we're trying to get you an app for your business. So let's start with One for Business. Install the app. It will ask for your mobile number, the business name and your name. Please share all that information and you will end up in the screen. On the top left is where you have a place to manage your branding. Add your logo and your business name. Every time you come onto your app, this is the branding you will see on the top left corner. I'm clicking on the photo icon there and I will be able to fill my profile. Share your address, website, email, opening hours and all of it. Click on the next button, choose private. Click on the next button and at this point of time, we will skip this step. We will come back to adding contacts to your app. Click on skip and save. That is step 1. Once your profile is set, you will find 4 buttons in the bottom of the screen. Wall, applets, users and payments. I'm going to click on users, the third button in the bottom of the screen. You can invite users to connect with your app by clicking on the Invite Users button here. You will be able to invite them in 3 different ways. If you have your contacts connected with you on WhatsApp or email, you can choose the social media option. If you have your contacts saved in your phone book, you can choose the phone book option. Or you can add users one by one to your app manually. I'm going to choose Invite on Social Media option now. All the apps in your mobile will show up and you can choose which way you would like to invite users to connect with you. Let's say I'm selecting WhatsApp and I'm sending an invitation across to one of my contacts. As you see, my business name is Demo App 1 and the invitation goes with the name Demo App 1. Your users will be able to see the link in that message, click on it and connect with you. Once they are connected to your app, they will get listed in the contact section. The next step is to create groups. I've created many groups in my app. You could do the same thing by clicking on the plus button in the bottom of the screen. Once you create groups, you can add users who are connected with your app into various groups. Your users could be teachers, students, contacts, or any customer you are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Once your groups are created, let's go to the next step. Click on the Applets button in the bottom of the screen and you will find a set of functions readily available for your app. When you come here for the first time, the only function you will see are these 4 icons. In order to add more features to your app, click on the Explore More Applets button in the bottom of the screen. If you're a school, you could click on the School bundle right here and add it to your app. If you're a tuition center or a coaching center, click on the Tuition bundle here and add it to your app, so on and so forth. Schools, colleges, play schools, all of it will be able to use the School bundle here. I'm tapping on the School bundle. You will find all the features and functions that's available in the School app. The School app can work for schools and colleges. And in the bottom of the screen, you'll find a purple button which says Add this bundle. I'm seeing already added because I've done this step ahead. Once you finish adding the School bundle, click on Applets again and select the Forms button. The forms function essentially allows you to create different kinds of forms. Feedback form, survey form, online admission form, and even online examinations can be created using the form button. The same way, click on the forms button and click on add this applet in the bottom of the screen. You will see open this applet here because I have already added it. Once that is done, the next time you come on to your applet screen, all the functions relevant to your business will show. That takes care of your basic setup. Let's click on the applets button and explore the features one by one. If you're a teacher and you'd like to create progress reports, click on the progress report button here. I'm clicking on the plus button again, as you can see in the bottom of the screen, to create a new report. These are the groups we have already created in our app and therefore it's listed here. Select your class group, give your report a title, select the term if you want and enter the faculty name. Let's say Roy. And let's say this term has 60 working days. As a teacher, you will do all the setup of your subjects with maximum mark and minimum mark. All the subjects that is being taught in that class. So I'm going to select maybe one more subject here. You can continue adding as many subjects you want, and when you're done, click on the next button. Students connected to your app are listed here. So let's say the student attended 58 days out of 60 days. She scored 69 in English, she scored 96 in maths, and she scored 85 in science. The teacher can also write remarks. And submit. Once the teacher finishes entering all the information, once the admin finishes entering all the information, they can click on the arrow button in the bottom and send the report. The report card is sent. So the report card is going out from your side, and let us see how it is being received by your end user, be it the student or the parent. As you can see, the report card is already sent to them and they have received a notification from your side. Let's click on the notification, and this is how they receive the report card. It goes personalized with your logo and your name, with the student name, teacher's name, their comment and feedback, the total percentage which gets automatically calculated, and all of that. So teachers will be able to create reports in such a small time or such a short time using the app on one. Similarly, if you're a school and you have small children, let's say kindergarten children, you could do daily reports using the app. Click on the plus button and let's create a daily report. So I'm going to do a report for my LKG, and let's say the teacher's name is Anita. There are 4 heads here. Literacy, activity, play, numeracy. You can edit and rename it to the way you want based on your school's requirement. So let's say they learned ABC in the school. They learned how to do kites. They played in the sand and they made, let's say, sandcastle. And they learn numbers 1 to 100. Once the teacher records all this information, they can click on next, and again the students connected to their app will show. Let's record the mood of the child. How was the child's mood today? Was she happy, sad, normal, dull, sick? Select one. Click on next. What did they eat for breakfast? Let's say she had full breakfast, healthy breakfast. She had 3/4 lunch, unhealthy lunch. She had half snacks, healthy snacks. Once the data is recorded, they can even write comments. You can eliminate the whole system of having a diary by sending a diary, by having your app on one. Everything can be digitally sent. So imagine if you have to print a diary or purchase a diary, and diary costs at least 20 rupees per student, and if your school or your center has around 500 students, the cost of diary alone is 10,000 rupees a year. And the cost of your app on one is way less than that, and it comes with a lot more features. Once you create the report, you send the report, and as you can see, the report is sent out to the parent or the student. Click on the report, and this is how they will view the report you send from your school. Again, goes with your branding, your logo, name of the teacher, name of the student, and the class. What activity they did that day, how was the child's mood, what did the child eat the whole day, and your feedback. All of this in a nice template. Now, if the parent who receives it wants to forward it, he or she can also click on the forward button on the top of the screen and share it via social media, WhatsApp, email, or any application that's available on their phone. Let's move on to the next feature. Similarly, teachers can create timetables for their class. I've created so many timetables, I'm showing you a sample. You will be able to select the days and enter information of your timetable. And this will be available for the student or the parent to view. Moving on to the next feature. If you're a school which has multiple teachers or a coaching center which has multiple teachers, you can assign different teachers as admins. Essentially, there are 3 levels of admin access in the phone: the owner access, super admin, and admin. The super admin and owner pretty much have the same right, except that the super admin cannot delete the app. Admins are those you give limited access to. For example, if it's a teacher who's managing a specific class, you give that person admin right only for that specific class. Assuming this is a teacher and I'm going to select this teacher's name. Immediately, it will ask which is the group you want this teacher to be an admin. I can select one group or multiple groups. And once I select the groups and assign them as an admin, that teacher will only see members of those groups in their app. So multiple people will be able to manage their classes, and you as an admin or an owner will have an overall view on what is happening on your app. Creating groups is something we have already seen. I've created so many groups and I've showed that to you. You can continue adding groups. The next feature is the invoice feature. You can create different kinds of invoices and collect money using your app itself. There is a small dashboard on top of the screen where you will see the number of invoices you have created, the number of transactions that's happened, the money received, and the amount pending. This gives you an overall health of your business. Creating an invoice is very easy. Click on the plus button and choose one-time payment. All you have to do is enter 4 details here. Title of your invoice, let's say this is a 10th standard fee. Standard fee, and due date is 31st. When you give due dates, the app automatically starts sending reminders to the parents or the students, so you don't have to remind them to make the payment to you. There are 4 reminders that's sent out. Once you send the invoice, you can either save or save and send immediately. Once you save the invoice will be available for you to see right here. So let's say I'm going to click on this invoice, and you can see the invoice is generated by entering just 4 information. The invoice gets generated with your branding, with your signature, invoice details, invoice numbers. If you have your GST, you'll be able to fill it, otherwise you can leave it empty. And you'll be able to send this invoice. Let's look at one of the invoices where we have received a payment. Parents will be able to make the payment within the app itself. We have integrated a payment gateway and it allows a payment collection through different means such as a debit card, credit card, net banking, and UPI. Now I'm clicking on this invoice which is being sent out, and we have received payment already. This is an invoice which gets created, and you have 4 buttons on the top of the screen. The center shows who are the people you've sent the invoice to. As you can see, I've sent the invoice to one person and that person is already paid. The history button on the top of the screen shows the payment receipt. An automatic payment receipt is generated when parents or students make the payment to you, and this is sent out on your behalf automatically. You can also click on the forward button on the top of the screen to forward and print this invoice and record it for your use. So it takes care of your accounting system. Moving on to the next feature. We have a feature called as Forms. Now Forms is a feature we added from the a la carte section. Like I said, with Forms you can create different kinds of forms. As you can see, there is a form which I've created which has 7 responses and I have a due date of 19th August 2021. So creating forms, click on the plus button again and design a form. Give a name for your form, write a description about your form, keep a validity period if you want, else you can skip it. And there are 4 different types of questions you can create. Long form questions with attachment, short form questions, open answers, multiple choice questions and checkbox question. Select the question type, type your question and then save it. You have an option to preview your questions before you send it out to your users. Create your question and save it, and when you're ready to send, all you have to do is click on the 3 arrow buttons on the right side of the question and send it across. Let's look at one of the questions which is being sent to an end user, your student or your parent. I'm going to open the parent tab or the student tab. And let's look at one of the questions that is created, any of the form that we have created. Okay, so here is a form we have created, right? I'm going to click on this form, and as you can see, the questions are recorded. I will be able to fill the answers for this question and record the answer and submit. When I submit, the business gets notified, and whoever is handling that specific class gets to know that the student from that class has filled the form. Click on the answer and you can see that the answers are recorded. We also have 3 more functions here which allows you to create posts, alerts and events. Essentially, you can send photos, documents, videos, links to any of the contacts connected with you. So I'm going to click on the first one. This is a post. The post, as you can see, has a link, as a heading, a photograph. You can choose what you want to send. And people can comment on the post as well. The beauty about post is that when you create a post, you have an option to keep your comments on or off. If you don't want your users to comment on any of your messages, just switch off your comments. If you want them to comment, you can keep it on. The 3 buttons in the bottom of the screen allows you to attach photos, documents or videos. Once you create a post and send, you can also click on the history button on the top of the screen and see who has seen your messages and who has not seen your messages. So you can see the message is delivered to so many people, and for some of them it shows as delivered and for some of them it shows as read. So you know exactly who has seen your message and who's not seen your message. You can also click on the share button on the top of the screen and forward this message to social media, be it WhatsApp, be it email or even through Messenger. You can put it up in stories and it goes with your branding. The event function here allows you to create any kind of event and share it with your users. There are no limits in the number of events you want to create. Let's look at an example. This is an event called Gandhi Jayanti and the date is kept as 30th October. You can see how many people has accepted your event and confirmed that they will RSVP for the event. Now let's look at the end user app. The end users have 2 buttons in the bottom of the screen where they will be able to click on My Dates and see all the events you have created. So as you can notice, there's an event on 30th, 31st, 1st and 6th. Let's click on them. 31st, there's a follow-up meeting. There has been no response from me. But for 30th, as a parent or a student, I've confirmed that I will attend this event. There is a parent-teacher meeting on the 6th of October with the venue. So as the end users, people connected to your app, they will be able to keep track on what is happening in your school or coaching center or college and communicate more effectively with you. When you create invoices, it comes and sits in the My Dues section for the end user, and they can click on the Pay Now button and make the payment as well. Going back to your app, let's click on Applets again and see the last function, which is the Zoom video. The way we have integrated Zoom is that your end user, be it parents, students, or anybody connected to your app, need not even download Zoom. They don't even have to have an account on Zoom. When you as a business, whether you're a teacher or any business owner, you click on Zoom video. Within the app, the first time you come, it will ask you to sign in. And once you sign in, you will see only two options here. So click on Start a Meeting, and once you click on Start a Meeting, all the groups you have created in your app will be listed. Click on Start a Meeting, click on Invite and select your participants. You can select a group or an individual, and invitation goes out to them and they will be able to connect to your app and you can start having live classes. If you create a video conference call using the app, teachers can concurrently take classes for their students, and this is how the invitation goes out to them. Everything happens within one platform. The beauty about one is that you don't have to rely on multiple tools to keep in touch with your members. A single platform tool which allows you to communicate effectively, reduce your manual effort, and increase your school or coaching center or college or tuition center's efficiency, all from a single platform. Thank you so much.